The special guest of honor tonight was the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Tony Abbott. Unfortunately, because today is a national day of mourning, he couldn't be here in this gathering with us. But he sent his best, and also with that, a message in the form of a video.
I'm sorry I can't be with you on this National Day of Mourning for the dead of Flight MH17. I did want to speak to this Business Council again because of the importance of India to Australia. India is our neighbour, our major trading partner, our key strategic ally and our friend. 450,000 Australians are of Indian origin, and these links continue to grow and grow. Two-way trade now exceeds $15 billion a year and is growing all the time. No one should underestimate India now, nor its potential to be a global superpower in this century. India is growing from strength to economic strength, and Australia has been proud to help build this emerging democratic superpower, particularly through education and resources exports. Australia wants to do more business with India because Australia is under new management and open for business. This government is about lower taxes, less red tape, freer trade and making it easier to invest. So I thank the Australia-India Council for its 27 years of commitment to fostering the business relationship between our two countries and for helping to lay the path for an even stronger shared economic future. I wish you all a most enjoyable evening.
AIBC New South Wales works closely with the Government of India, the High Commission and the Indian Consul General's offices and their trade office in Sydney to facilitate trade delegations and promote bilateral trade and business.
I'd like to now invite the AIBC National Chairman, Mr. Dipen Rughani.
Australia could start an exciting new chapter of bilateral relationships with India. The new government in India has won an historic mandate to deliver change and reform. Together, Australia has an extraordinary opportunity to help India to meet its challenges and to boost two-way trade. For Australia to invest in India's success is a very smart long-term strategy. We have the capacity, we have the resources, and we have the intellectual property that can help compete and win in an integrated world. And we have a remarkable talented people in both of our countries waiting to do so. AIBC hopes that the Australian government can pave the way for a new chapter in bilateral ties between our two great democracies.
Please welcome NSW's Premier, the Honourable Mike Baird.
There is a great synergy with actually what we are seeing here in New South Wales, indeed across Australia. And my sense is that that is an opportunity that we should grab with both hands, because in Australia there is a great deal of advancement, particularly in infrastructure financing, together with models on procurement, bringing in the private sector, bringing in superannuation funds. And I think that is a huge opportunity in the relationship to build it closer. How can we work together to not only bring some expertise and opportunities for Indian business into our infrastructure here, and over the next 5 years there's $85 billion in construction anticipated, but at the same time under the Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Abbott, who also wants to be the infrastructure Prime Minister and is putting money where his mouth is and actually providing the capital to do it, I see this incredible opportunity, and that's what I'm most excited about. So I anticipate working very strongly, not only with our Prime Minister, but very closely with my friends in India to bring forward some of the biggest road and rail projects that we've seen in the country, in the history here, and likewise in India.
I am confident that businesses in both countries will seize these new opportunities, and we will witness a new wave of economic activity that will propel our economic ties to a higher level. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it really has been a privilege to be here tonight to speak to you. I'd very much like to thank the Australian Indian Business Council. And to me, I can't actually think of a better place to talk about cricket, or more importantly, the business of cricket, than here in this group. Thank you very much, and I very much look forward to seeing you all in 27 Thursdays when one of the biggest events in the world kicks off. Thank you.
Brett, these days in the sport, there's just so many matches that happen, and there's a lot of talk about players getting exhausted as well. The volume of cricket that we see on television, read about it, has increased so much, but yet one cup, one tournament remains paramount and the pinnacle of cricket. What makes the World Cup so special? What do you think makes it so special?
Well, look, I think it's the pride of playing for your country first, but the chance to win that World Cup. And looking over at it now, it's beautiful and shiny. And I tell you what, though, it doesn't bounce that well when it lands on the concrete. Sorry, John. Back in 2003, when we had the chance to win that was the most amazing day, playing against India. We sort of had the game in the bag. We got a massive total first up, but 20 overs has to constitute a game. You have to play 20 overs in the next half to make it a game. The rain clouds were coming over. I was down at fine leg, and all the Indian fans were down there all dancing, doing a rain dance. Any chance you get to interact with India, as I guess a lot of people are finding out, guys and girls here now, that there's so many wonderful opportunities. There are both in sport, both in business, and I guess in life in general. My role in particular is to try to get as many Indian people out to Australia to educate them how beautiful Australia is. There was those issues a few years ago which we tried to appeal to the Australian public firstly, but also over to India, that Australia is a safe country. Everyone knows that now. But look, how can you not love Australia? Anyone that could get the chance to go over to India, it's a beautiful country. Only 1.3 billion, so there's only a few, but you'll enjoy it.
My next thanks goes out to our Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Tony Abbott. Despite such a day, he did find time to do that video and send it specially for the Australia-India Business Council, and I'd really like to thank him for it and request Honourable Julie Bishop to convey our special gratitude, appreciation, and thanks. That AIBC has taken some of the largest delegations to India and to the Vibrant Gujarat Conference. We've been active partners and continue to be even as of the next conference. From the perspective of Australia-India Business Council, who are we? We really are in business for almost 28 years. Interestingly, there were two prime ministers who inaugurated AIBC. We had the privilege of hosting Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. She's the Indian State Minister for Commerce and Industry, Finance and Corporate Affairs, at a very recent luncheon which we hosted for the CEOs. So that's what AIBC is about. It's really about strengthening those bilateral trade relationships in every way possible. The whole set of volunteers here, and it's just not me. We've got our national chairs here. We've got our state presidents from all across the country. We've got our management committee members, the chapter chairs, industry chairs. It's a huge body, let me tell you, and all volunteers. They're there because of the passion of wanting to do more with India.
I believe that the relationship now has a momentum that is unstoppable. Two new governments, both committed to economic reform, both nations declaring proudly that they're open for business. Our Prime Minister was one of the first world leaders to contact new Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, inviting him to Australia for the G20 Leaders Summit and a bilateral visit. But you might not know that my department, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, headed so ably by Peter Varghese, had a vision some time ago, for in 2002, Mr. Modi was invited to Australia under our Special Visitors Program as a potential leader, one to watch. So we're going to see our two action men, our two action Prime Ministers together on the world stage very shortly. They both have ambitious infrastructure agendas, And so, with so much in common between our two new leaders, we recognise the opportunity to broaden and deepen what is a strong relationship but could be far stronger. The Australian government is determined to encourage more Indian investment in Australia, and I know the Indian government is likewise. We're both governments about lower taxes and less red tape and freer trade, so the potential can and will be realised. Australia and India are under new management. They are both open for business. We want to do more business with each other. So I feel very confident to say that the very best days of the Australia-India relationship lie ahead. Thank you.